And the FBI is asking for any videos, any photos that could lead to a suspect. And investigators already have hundreds of images to comb through. Senior correspondent John Miller is here with more on that, a former FBI assistant director. John, good morning. So what are your sources telling you?
Well, so the investigation is really at the beginning, but what they're starting to find is they're starting to find images from security cameras that show them people who might be the bomber, and they're trying to get those down to where can we find more images that can give us more clues to that. And they're starting to find physical evidence of those bombs, which they now know a lot more about. That's evidence that could yield other clues, fingerprints, DNA, and things when they get to the FBI lab. So this is a critical but beginning stage. Now, the FBI has also asked anyone who might have seen anything to call or email. They've asked anyone with photos along the marathon route near the finish line to send them. But how will they handle the avalanche of data and pixels? It's an unprecedented challenge. As investigators begin to search for physical evidence at the scene,
we are in the process of securing and processing the most complex crime scene that we've dealt with in the history of our department.
They will also search through thousands of photos and every frame of video they can get from bystanders and the more than 600 surveillance cameras in the area.
That's an overwhelming task.
Tim Murphy is a former deputy director of the FBI. One of the first times the Bureau called upon the public to collect a mass amount of imagery was the 1996 bombing in the Centennial Olympic Park in Atlanta. But the images did not reveal a photo of the bomber. But today, almost everyone carries a device that can capture images. In 2011, when police reached out to the public for video after the Vancouver riots, they were overwhelmed with 5,000 hours of footage. It helped them identify some of the people behind the worst violence. And now in Boston, they're hoping that someone took a picture of the bomber. What about a case where you're getting first hundreds, then thousands, then tens of thousands of disparate pieces of information, tips from the public?
All that information will be in a repository, and they'll be able to search across links. And the system itself will make links. Whether it's a person, place, or thing, there's searches that are done to see if this name or this location or this information has come up in other cases. And you can do a Google-like search across this information, and that will connect the dots for you.
The picture those dots create will be complex. Investigators want it all. In a statement yesterday, Attorney General Eric Holder said, in an investigation of this nature, no detail is too small.
And on those details, John, that you're talking about, since we're focused on this pressure cooker this morning, that we're learning more about this, would have bomb-sniffing dogs have found that before? Because they sweeped the area before everybody went in.
Yes, they would have. And what that tells us is the person with the pressure cooker likely arrived after one of those sweeps, right, and was working in the crowd.
Let me come to this question. We referred to it earlier. The idea of somehow homegrown terrorists. You know, give me a little bit of explanation of that.
You know, I spoke to some of the key people in this investigation just this morning, right, and they said, you know, we are looking at the idea of all of this instruction by Al-Qaeda and all of this material they put out saying, if you have the capability, act out where you can and how you can, but you can't get tunnel vision here, because they're also saying, what about a mad bomber who may have his own agenda? What about a domestic terrorism group like the militias or these things? So really, they're open to all possibilities. One of the things I just want to follow up on.
What about the pictures that they're trying to analyze, because so many people have left town?
This is going to be the key, and I think you just hit on it there. I mean, yesterday, we've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
Customs and Border Patrol and ICE agents were at Logan Airport as people were getting on international flights saying, right, were you at the marathon? Did you take pictures? Let's download them now before you get 3,000 miles away. It's a real effort to collect everything they can.
Yes, there could be information in the back of the pictures, or you're taking a picture. Thanks, John.